y'all. I am super excited to be in this space with you today because we are about to have a beautiful conversation as we have been doing for the past couple of episodes. So, I want to welcome you all to episode 4 of Byrd Talk. We are here in the room. So, if you have folks that need to be in this space, make sure you are bringing them to the stage, letting them know that we're here. I'm trying to go live on Instagram, but I'm not sure that it is actually working right now. So we'll see what happens. Sometimes some of these things are trial and error, and I'm always up for the journey. So now that we're here, and now that all the technical things are out of the way, I want to welcome you to another episode of Byrd Talk Season 3 Conversations and Remembering. And within this episode, within this season, what we want to be able to do is talk about remembering the parts of ourselves that the world has tried to get us to actively silence and forget. I will say that again. This season is all about remembering the parts of ourselves the world has actively tried to get us to silence and forget. If you do not know who I am, look here, y'all are in for a treat. It is your girl, Heather Byrd, founder, visionary, and CEO of Bird's World and Bird's World Publishing. And this podcast is a space for us to be able to reclaim our voice, our bodies, and our brilliance one conversation at a time. You'll hear us laugh. You'll hear us be real. You will hear us cry and ask the hard questions while we hold space for the real answers, right? So if there's pausing in our conversation, allow that pause to happen. We're always trying to move so quickly, right? So in each episode, I sit down with a member of the Sister Resistor community that lives within Bird's World, and together we are in conversation with one another. And so a lot of the times I ask my writers, I'm asking a lot of them to be honest, because we're not just writers. We're here to heal, we're here to write, and we're here to build movements. And if I'm going to ask them to do something, if I'm going to ask them to show up, I need them to also know that I'm willing to make the first move. So I've been told that there is power in my vulnerability, and that is my superpower, and it's my light. So I am creating a space for me to be able to step into my light. So if you are down to step into this light with me, let me know in the chat. I can see the chat. I love to be able to acknowledge folks in the chat. What up, Joan? I am so excited to see you here. You were live with us on YouTube. So if you have folks who need to be in the room and be a part of this conversation, I know I'm live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Facebook and LinkedIn. Instagram may or may not be working right now. I'm not entirely sure. I will know once we get done. All things happen for a reason, right? Hey, Catherine. Yeah, she's here for a live. And we are movement builders. And so I am so thankful for you to be in this space with us. So thank you all. Make sure you tag your people, get them in the room because we're about to have a dynamic conversation today. If y'all have missed episode 1 with Catherine, episode 2 with Joan, I did a special edition for episode 3 where I went live and did a Q&A session where people hopped on and asked questions about the writing process to help folks get unstuck, because there's no reason why you should stay stuck in getting your story out into the world. They are actively trying to silence us. They are banning books, and they are putting us in positions where they want us to forget who we are. And at this space, we remind each other every single day who we are, even if we do not see it ourselves. All right. So get your people in the room. If you were here, make sure you let me know your name and where you were coming from. I love to see who has the opportunity to join us in these conversations, because it's not just me and the guests having us a conversation. We are pulling in everyone. It is a communal act, y'all. So get your folks in the room, all right? So for today, y'all, I am so excited to be on this journey where we have the opportunity to return to who we were before the world got a hold of us. And the way that we're going to do that today is through one of I'm not gonna lie. I think she's a favorite within the community. We all have our superpowers, to be honest. Like there are no favorites, but we can also have favorites at the same time. You know what I'm saying? We could all be favorites. I was telling someone earlier today that I have several best friends. And that's okay to have several best friends. There's who said you can only have one? Like who made up that rule? My circle is tight. Look here. So I think she is definitely a favorite. And one of the reasons why I believe that this person is a favorite because she has been coined the question queen. And when I tell y'all we hop on in the mornings at 6:30 in the morning Central, 7:30 Eastern, and we are together and we write from 6:30 to 7. But when 7:01 hit, everybody eyes are wide open and they are waiting for their question for the day. And sometimes there are questions that make us ponder who we are and what we're doing and helps us to unpack who we are on a daily basis. So I am excited for you all to get the opportunity to share and be in conversation with us. So let's have a conversation. Let's talk, y'all. If y'all are down to talk, let me know in the chat that you are down to have a conversation with us today. And while you were doing that, I'm going to check this chat real quick. Catherine says, aloha. Hello, everyone. I do not want to butcher the rest of that. I'm going to have you pronounce that for me tomorrow so that I'm doing this justice, right? And then Joan says, I love that you are giving us permission to have more than one best friend. Look here, when I tell y'all, I have more than one, and it is okay. And I never understood why people fight over best friends. But you know what? We can all be grateful for the gifts that people bring to the table, and each person can have their own special gift, and that is okay, right? So with no further ado, what I want to be able to do is bring our guests to the stage with us, so that she has an opportunity to introduce herself and let you know. Y'all about to see, y'all about to see it. So y'all make sure y'all hop in this chat, let me know that you can see me. And what I'm going to do is bring our guests to the stage. Y'all put your hands together, put your snaps together, get in this chat, and help me welcome the question queen of the Sister Resistance of Bird's World. Help me in welcoming our girl, Jano. What up, Jano? Make sure you unmute yourself.
Yeah, Heather, you laid it on kind of thick, Heather.
Did I? Okay, y'all let me know. Look, I got backup. I got
Okay,
backup.
okay, okay.
Look here. I'm aware of how magical you truly are and what you bring to the space that we share together and how you have people moving differently. And there aren't very many spaces where people come to be transformed on purpose in the morning at
Mhm.
6:30 in the
Yes,
morning Central. We literally come to be transformed. We come to write, but as I said earlier, we heal first, write second, and build movements third.
yes.
And you are a part of the healing portion of this. Your questions help us unpack who we are as people, ask questions that we might not have considered, might not have had the permission or opportunity to explore. And they come so easily to you. You're just a curious person, and we need more people in this world to be curious. I'm just gonna pause there. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you. I thank you. I don't think I laid it on thick enough, but y'all can let me
Appreciate
know in the
you.
chat.
I appreciate you.
I
I
got
was
back
I was
up.
close to tears hearing what you was talking about you know breaking out of how the words treated us. I forgot the words you
Mhm.
used, but I'm
Yeah.
very much aware of that. What did you say? Would you say that again?
That we depends on which one you're to so a couple of things, right? We're on a journey to return to the parts of ourselves the world tried to get us to forget,
Yes,
right?
that right there.
Before the world got its hands on us, you
Yeah,
know?
that right there. Yeah,
Mhm.
very
And
special.
that's real. Like
That's
that's an
so real,
everyday
so
activity,
real.
and you're a
So
part of that everyday
yes,
activity.
yes,
Because we have those questions that are
yeah.
brought to the table that you so graciously share with us on a regular basis, right?
Well, I
So
know
Catherine said, "Jano," in all caps, question queen, right? Transformative inquiry based questions. That's really what they
wow,
are.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I clearly know what that feels like because the world got its hands on me at an early age,
Mm.
and so I had to figure out how to maybe not be seen or to fit in or to take what people said to me unsolicited. But
Mm,
coming to Bird's world, coming to morning pages, it's like years of healing has happened in days,
mm,
and it's still happening
yeah.
because of the environment that you put together.
Mm,
I kid you not. I'm telling you, years that I've had to try to manage. And the reason I have so many questions is I felt like everybody knew but me. Everybody
mm,
knew how to operate this, how to navigate this. I didn't know, so I just tried to mimic
yeah.
most of the time. Not
That's
not
a facade,
mimicking so
though. That
well, but
it really is a facade because somewhere in our upbringing, we were taught that adults knew everything. And now that we are the adults, now that we are the aunties and the grandmas and the mamas,
yeah,
like we realize we don't know what we're doing either.
yeah,
And I don't think we are honest enough in our conversation of saying, I don't know, but we can figure it out
yes,
together.
yes,
You're
yes,
right. So you feel less alone when you know that I don't, what you're asking, I have no clue either. Or what you are asking, I have figured out in some point in my life, but there are parts of my life that I haven't figured out that you have. And figure out isn't one answer.
yeah,
Like it's we're all different beings. We're all coming from so much that we're all going to have different pieces of advice. So I think
yeah,
that's the beauty of, I don't think, I know and I believe that's the beauty of Bird's World is our collective nature.
yes,
Your
yes, for sure.
question allows for five, six, seven, eight, nine other people to join in and give their take on what they're absorbing or what they have learned. And then
Yeah,
I get to choose what I take with me.
yeah, yeah. And your space has made a space for a person like me to grow
Yeah.
and to begin a healing process
Hmm.
that's been spectacularly amazing.
Hmm.
I lie to you not.
I am learning to receive in a way that I have never received before, and I am
Yeah,
learning to witness. So I thank you
yeah,
for that because I also believe that I am healing right along with you all. Like this is not a space where I come in and I'm above everyone else. Like we talked about this years ago at our very first retreat. It's called Bird's World, and there are no accidents
yeah. Hmm.
that happen, right? So when you think about a flock,
Hmm.
when birds are flying, they take
Yeah,
turns and
yeah,
who's in front, who is guiding,
yes,
and they trust every entity that is in front to guide them where they need to be. So sometimes I am in front because that's what needs to happen in that moment. But then in the next moment, same day, different minute, Joan might come in, or you might come in, or Catherine might come in, or Regina, or Sharinda, or Shauna, or like the names could keep going.
yeah,
And we trust that who is guiding us in that moment is who is
yeah,
needed.
yeah,
So we take turns. And I think that also, I need to stop saying think. I know and I believe that that also aids in our healing
yeah,
because it's heavy to always carry a load. So if
yeah,
we get to share the load,
yeah,
if we get to take turns, if we get to hold each other,
yeah,
it makes a difference in how we move.
yeah. We get to joyfully and gleefully share it,
Yes,
and that
yes.
makes it so much more magical.
Yeah, and sometimes cry,
Yeah,
right? Like it's
yeah,
there was a moment yesterday in evening pages where, a lot of us are going through some really heavy stuff. And there was a conversation where we talked about, people hear about what's going on and they're like, you're so strong or stay strong. And it's like, I don't want to be strong. Or what does strong mean in
yeah,
this moment? Does
yeah,
strong always
yeah,
mean I put on this mask and I walk around and everyone thinks everything is okay?
yeah,
Is that healthy for me?
yeah,
Or is that actually draining me? So, like, these are the types of conversations we're having on a daily
yeah.
basis, right? We are constantly unpacking and unlearning what has in been given to us
Hmm.
that has harmed us,
Yeah.
and some things that may have helped, right? But we give each other the permission to cry, to scream, to be in joy, to pull out the pom
Yeah.
poms, to dance unabashedly. Like, we get to experience all of the emotions.
Yeah. And it's something about the group, and this can happen with any group. They can
Mm.
give themselves permission. We trust and we become vulnerable. And somehow the fear may still be there, but we kind of just trust and let it. So that's pretty cool. So I have a confession to make. I think I made this confession before.
Hmm.
Before I was born, I was hanging out in the universe, waiting for my body, waiting,
Yes.
and I was waiting to come as a male.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, you're waiting on the table in a restaurant and you're really, really hungry. And so, you go to the maitre d' and say, "My table ready?" They
Yeah.
say, no. So I'm like, it was like that for me, going to the maitre d'. And they said, "Girl," I'm like, "No, I'll wait." So I sit back
Mm.
down and I'm waiting and I'm
Mm.
waiting and I'm waiting. I go back up. It's my turn. He said, "Girl,
Mm.
girl, no, 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 no." And I'm waiting. And I'm waiting for a very long time. They finally say, "Girl," I say, "Okay, I'll take it." And I
Yeah.
come and I'm born. And it's just the oddest thing for me.
Mm.
But this is what I was bequeathed,
Yeah.
and this is what I was given. And so I spent a lot of time just figuring out what to do with the inside and the outside.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
pause.
yeah,
Spent a lot of time figuring out what to do with the inside and the outside.
yeah.
Again, these are things. How many people are having that conversation?
So even in my dreams, when I had my dreams, I was not a female
Hmm.
for many,
Hmm.
many, 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 many years. Um, but so I had to just kind of I felt like I have had a costume
Yeah.
play along. It's like one of those comedies where somebody's a spy and they have a
Mm.
waiter's outfit and nobody knows, they going through like.
Yeah.
So that has been my life.
Yeah.
So coming to Bird's World is a place where I could trust
Hmm.
other people, other women,
Yeah.
because I've been in some sticky situations where people just, they made decisions about me
Hmm.
and then made accusations toward me.
Hmm.
It always felt a little bit not the best space to be in. It's like being the black friend and you're supposed to laugh at the jokes about black people.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's
wait a
like,
minute, hold
wait,
up.
this is about
Yeah,
me too. Like, this is,
yeah, it's like, hold up.
yeah.
So I've done a lot of tiptoeing
Mm.
and coming to the writing group. Trust when I say this. My wife can hear me. She's an earshot who has told me, suggested to me strongly, you need to go to a therapist. You need a therapist.
We all
She
do.
was basically saying, you've kind of fucked up. But when I began to come to, and I've gone to some, but they were kind of fucked
Mm.
up too. So
Yeah.
when I've came to Bird's World, it was almost like a place I have been looking for.
Mm.
And it's like when you have a cold drink on a hot day, say, and that's what began to happen for me.
Mm.
And the type of healing, it's like I don't know if I was going to make it through this lifetime and have that or find it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really didn't.
Yeah.
So I would just keep, um, you know, not masking, but hoping that nobody really noticed.
I mean, that's it's a yes and, right? You were
Yeah, yeah,
masking
yeah,
and drifting into the background, right? And I think a lot of us do that as well,
yeah,
right? Like, we're taught not to be seen.
yeah, yeah,
Um, see, like, you even growing up, but seen not heard, right? Or be heard not, no, seen not heard, or like just being in corporate. There's a lot of um messaging, consciously or unconsciously, just about like the hard work that we put in, but the recognition isn't there as well, and so we shrink as individuals. Here's a place where we literally all get to shine, and it's not shining over anyone else. It
Yeah.
is like literally we all shine, and it just gets brighter. And if you're not ready for the brightness, put on your shades or get out of our way, because what we're not doing is dimming, because there's 15 of us today, right? But that light of the 15 is going to be just as bright when there are just two of us, and we're giving, and it's a different space. And so I
It is.
really
It is.
appreciate you breaking that down and saying that. And you, like I said, you've been such a gift to this space. um and we're still going. We're still going.
So at the root of almost all my questions is, how did you learn how to do that? It's
Mm,
always been even an enigma to me, being a human.
yeah.
So it's like, how did you learn how to? So my questions at the root of it, all of it, mainly is, how did you learn how to do that?
And that is what exactly, just to make sure that I understand, but then also everybody else is understanding what that is that we're talking
But that is sometimes things in life.
about.
Figure that out. Come, come present a certain way, respond a certain way. How did you see something that way?
There was a lot of tug of war, a lot of double dutch. You know how I can't jump double dutch, but when this
Digging
is
those
me trying to
potatoes.
get in and trying not
Yeah,
to get smacked with that rope. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Understood.
Uh, but there was a lot of tug of war with myself, and I will say that the in this instance, I'm going to use duality, because I
Hmm.
think there are multiple ways in which you can get pulled, right? And
Yeah,
so it's the way that we've been taught to do things,
yeah.
and then it's the way that I felt
Hmm. Hmm.
should
Hmm.
be done.
Hmm.
Or there were pieces of this that felt right, but then there are
Yeah,
other pieces that didn't. So I got curious. I asked myself.
yeah.
And then when I really realized the strength of what Joan calls my ancestral wisdom,
I would agree with
like
that.
she says,
Yeah,
I'm ancestrally guided.
yeah.
And that's something that we're not taught. We are actually taught to operate outside of ourselves and to fall into a system.
Hmm. Hmm.
And when you don't operate within the system that's given, that usually feeds into capitalism and has something to do with greed and money, then they tell you that you're wrong. What is that June Jordan quote? I'm not wrong. Wrong is not my name. Like, my body knows. And so, because and I have to give it up to my mother, because my grandmother, let's go back, right, generationally.
Hmm. Hmm.
My grandmother was born in 1922.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so her parents saw times that we can only imagine.
Yeah, yeah,
Then
yeah.
my grandmother was born in 1922, and she was a fair-skinned black woman who moved through the world as a very opinionated, very strong,
Hmm.
very I'm not taking shit from no one type woman. Didn't
Wow,
care who
wow,
you were, man, white, doesn't matter.
wow.
And so her navigating that space,
Hmm.
she became very, I don't know what the word is, because the word that's coming to mind I really don't want to use. She was very strict,
Hmm.
very proper. And
Hmm.
what she identified, now that I'm older, as proper
Hmm.
was adjacent to whiteness,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so there's my grandmother living
Hmm.
in that way. And then we have my mother,
Hmm.
who was raised under my grandmother in that way, but she's just, my mom's more kind of like a la-di-da, I'll figure it out, maybe I won't figure it out type person. She is a very, when you're in my mother's presence, there's going to be joy. There might be some
Right.
confusion. There's going to be some laughs, but she is a very carefree person.
Mhm, mhm.
There's structure because she had to be in that structure because that's what
Mhm.
society told her. But
Yeah.
she lived under my grandmother, who was very woof. Like, you
Mhm,
did things by the book. You did
mhm.
this thing because that was the proper way to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so when I was born, my theory is that my mom, growing up under that very strict nature,
Mhm,
was like,
mhm.
let my daughter choose what
Yeah,
she wants. Like,
yeah.
they got to fights in the morning, because I got to pick my breakfast. And my
Mhm,
mom's like, well, if I give her the choice of two things that I don't
mhm.
mind her having, oatmeal and eggs, it's not like, let's have chocolate cake. and eggs. It's
That
like,
sounds good.
you know what I'm saying? Like she's giving me
Yeah,
choice,
yeah,
but
yeah, I do.
choice within parameters. And
Yes, yes,
so my because my mom had this, she didn't have the programming. There's pieces of her that were not programmed, and I don't know how it didn't hit
mhm,
her. I don't
mhm,
know what happened there, but because she didn't have it,
yeah,
I didn't have to grow up with it. So
yeah.
there wasn't that expectation of, "Oh,
Wow,
mom, I'm gonna be an artist. So what you gonna do with that?" Like
wow.
she showed up to everything. She might not have understood everything that was happening on the stage or what I was saying on the mic, but she showed up to everything.
Yeah,
She's present, and I don't know how she was so present. And so I think because my mom didn't have those preconceived all of those preconceived notions, because there are some
yeah,
we all
yeah,
grow up with them. Because she didn't have those preconceived notions, I got to choose the route that I
yeah,
wanted to take. And so I
yeah,
got to also listen to myself, even though she's not a spiritual person. Because I didn't have, you got to do it that way in me, I had a chance to listen to myself.
yeah,
So, I mean, we talk a lot about with this project all about our liberation, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what is the root story? How did we get to this space?
yeah,
And a lot of it is that generational piece that exists. And it doesn't just start with us. It's
yeah.
our parents, it's our
Yeah,
parents' parents, it's our parents'
yeah.
parents' parents, it's society, it's like all of these pieces. And
Right,
so
right.
I can't claim all of this.
Yeah,
Um, it's not all mine to claim because there is a trickle down effect that exists, and there's the work that I've done too
yeah.
to say, okay, if I'm gonna play double dutch, what am I choosing? When am I choosing to get in the rope? I'm
Mhm.
choosing to get in the rope when my body says it's time to get in the rope, not when you
Yeah,
tell me it's time to get in the rope.
right.
So that's a
Yeah,
complicated answer to that
yeah.
because I'm working through, and again, this is what this podcast is about, right? It's about working through we don't have the answers, but we
But you
have
know
the
what?
questions and we have the curiosity. That's what we do
Yeah,
have.
yeah. I just remember when I met you, and tell the
Mm.
story again.
I love
I
this
was
so
going to see Dr. Joy Harden across the street
Mhm,
in this art district. She's the one therapy for Black girls.
mhm.
And there was another across the street was the Zhao Brothers art, I think the art warehouse. You were going over
Yeah,
there to see
yeah,
something. And I ran into the poet, Avery Young, and we're talking to him on the street, and he talks loud. He has a loud voice.
I love it.
Anybody hear his voice know it's him.
You
And
know
around the corner comes Heather.
it.
And something I have Heather and I started talking like we've known each other. But
Mhm,
actually, Heather was when I saw her and started talking to her, it was as if I was trying to remember what lifetime I knew her from.
mhm,
And so, and it just seemed so natural.
mm,
And as I have been trying to meet new people and new groups and have, just make new friends, and people generally don't try to make new friends, we just clicked. And she invited me to her writing group.
yeah,
And I was really pretty happy about it because of the energy that flowed between us. And one of the
mm,
things that have learned, and I learned this from my mom, is that just because you've been on the planet longer don't mean you know every so I look for my teachers in all types of ways.
yeah.
A plant, a person, a child, a
Ooh.
young woman named Heather. And I saw her, and I felt like I knew her from maybe a past life,
Mhm,
and I felt like she had something to offer me. And what Heather offers is you. If you think about whoever you are listening to this, you think about maybe some of the damage that's been done, or some of the things that's happened, and somebody open hands to you and say, "Look," you look inside somebody's hands. I'm not
mm,
holding my hands up like that. You look inside of there, and it's you. It is the best, purest part of yourself.
mm.
That's mind blowing. That's mind blowing, and it's possible. And so every morning we get up and we
Wow.
start to write, and then after that we have community. And every morning, each one of us offers the other person the best, purest part of themselves. And so we leave that, and then we leave that.
Uh-oh. I think Jano froze. Give us 1 second, y'all. Technical diff. See, The world won't. The world don't want us to be great, y'all. The world doesn't want us to be great. Um, give us 1 second to figure out what is going on here and how we might be able to fix it. But I appreciate y'all for being in this space with us and for having this conversation. I saw the chat earlier that one of the new folks that's joining us currently said, "I have never responded well to the idea of strong Black woman. Um, why do I have to be strong? Where is my support? Why am I not allowed to be supported or vulnerable?" Right? And I think this is, I don't think, again, I'm saying think. This is a trained thing that we have. It is not. It is not necessarily that we are. Um, I don't know where it came from. I don't. I don't know where that came from. Why people say it. Let me rephrase that. Part of why I believe that happens is because we've moved from this collective way of being into this individualized way of moving through the world. It's very much me instead of we. How can we get there? What are the conversations we can have? How can a group of people help me in being the best version of myself so that I can show up for the collective? We've lost that part of ourselves. And it is difficult to navigate the world in a way that our bodies were not meant for us to navigate. We were meant to be in community with one another. And so we do have a space that allows for us to have the opportunity to be supported, to be vulnerable, to be strong when we can be. Part of the conversation we were having yesterday is strong can look differently. Strong can be, I woke up this morning and I got out of bed. So, how can we come together to celebrate the fact that you got out of bed today? Like, we don't think about the little things. Sometimes it is challenging to do the everyday things, right? It's a part of it. So I appreciate y'all for being in this space. While we're waiting on Jano to come back, because again, the world knows that we're we're trying to be great. We're not trying, we are being great. And we are elevating. And we are not only surviving, we are learning how to thrive with each other. And sometimes forces be coming in the way to get in the way of that, right? So I know that there are some folks down here that are watching. So if you do have any questions that you have of me as we're thinking about the conversations that we're having on Byrd Talk, in terms of us being able to remember the parts of ourselves the world is actively silencing, um, how can we have a conversation, right? Um, so we're troubleshooting in the back end to see what's going on. But what I would love to be able to share with you all is I am excited to be back into the flow of Byrd Talk. And so we do these episodes every other Tuesday. We are in this space showing up and being in conversation with you all, right? On the off Tuesdays, I mentioned that I am the founder, the visionary, and CEO of Bird's World and Bird's World Publishing. What I didn't mention to you all is that we are on a mission to empower individuals, especially women of color, to write and publish their brilliance so they can turn their message into a movement. And we are not playing about this mission. This looks differently for some people, right? It might look like a book. It might look like touching stages and being a speaker and figuring out how you can be your best self on a stage. It might look like us being able to show up more on social media. It might look more like showing up on blogs, right? But you really get to be yourself. So, what is that self? What are you reclaiming so that you have the opportunity to show up? So, if that is something that you were interested in being a part of, one of the things that I would suggest for you to be able to do is hop on our open houses. We have open houses every other Tuesday, y'all, where we come together and we have a chance to be in community with one another and talk about the things that we're talking about here. We have the opportunity to write together in the most beautiful way possible. We have a chance to unpack and hold you in the way that you deserve to be held. So, if you are interested in joining our open houses, we do have one next Tuesday happening on November 4th, um, starting at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're on there for about 90 minutes, and it is just a little taste of what we've been talking about here on Byrd Talk. So, what up, Jano? You back? Like the world don't want us to be great out here. Like they try
Oh
to
my
take you
God.
up.
Oh my God. Thank you for having me back. As I was trying to talk about how we offer so much to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're at a pond, everybody's thirsty, they dip and they hand it to the other person first. Um,
Oof, that's an
it's
image.
well, it's really amazing, and every day you get a chance to find out how powerful and how beautiful you are. Every day,
Mhm. Every
think
day.
about somebody saying that to you every day, every
You
day.
have no choice but to believe it. Honey, there are things that y'all have been telling me for 2, 3 years now that I'm just now able to hear.
Yeah,
2, 3 years. It's taking multiple people at multiple points in my life to tell me things over and over. And I wasn't ready to receive it.
yeah.
And that is okay. We're not giving up on you until you
Mhm.
hear it, until you believe it. 2, 3 years. And I'm just now starting to hear it. And I'm like, oh, this is what you're talking about. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah. It is something to be around so many amazing people
Hmm.
and how that rubs off on you.
Yeah. Yeah. You have no choice but to be amazing yourself.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it is. And Heather, you put this group together. I think this was you were born for.
I believe that.
Yeah,
It's been something that has been with me and in me for a very long time.
yeah,
And just this year, I think I'm really starting to understand my gift in community building.
yeah.
And I've done it in so many different ways since I was little.
Hmm.
Like I remember my mom telling me the story of how I would have birthday parties when I was really young, and some of the parents would call and say, "Oh, they can't make it because they couldn't afford to bring me a gift." And my
Hmm.
mom's like, "Heather don't care about the gift; she wants the people." Like,
Hmm.
and I didn't. Like, if you bought a gift, great. But I really wanted the presence of the person, even when I
Yeah,
was young. I
yeah,
just want you there. I want us laughing. I want
right,
us playing games. I want us fighting because that's going to
yeah,
be a part of it, right? We're going to disagree. When you're
right.
kids, you don't have the language and the tools to work through that. But like, I wanted to be around other people,
Hmm.
and find ways for us to move differently. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
realizing that that really is my gift, is community building in a way that really does deserve a different term, in my opinion,
yeah,
because it's not just what we're used to when we think of community building. It is so much more and really is transformational.
yeah. This is a really unique time that we're living in, even if to be as young as you are. You've seen several different types of worlds to live in. And you are so around so many powerful people, just people overall.
Yeah.
But to get to the next step to where you see Bird's world, Bird's world going, what do you think you need from others to do?
My goodness. So this is where again I'm like double dutching. What's the right answer? And I was like, and then it just like plopped in me, and I was like, okay, that's the answer for today. Because I think it's multi layered, right? It's not
Hmm.
just one thing.
Yeah.
However, the very first thing when you asked the question that like came to me, it's trust.
Okay.
I think we're learning how to trust again.
Hmm.
And there are so many people that I know see this live, have
Hmm.
seen me in person, have
Hmm.
heard about what I do, either in passing or from someone else's lips, and they haven't necessarily been able to comprehend the
Hmm.
level of transformation that it provides.
Yeah.
And it does require a level of trust. It requires us to put down our guard and understand that the world does not have to function the way that it does, and
Yeah.
that there is another way.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do when evidence has piled up that says otherwise.
Yeah.
So when someone says, "Come join us, be in community with us, we will hold you," it's like the trust fall, but not. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're asking these strangers because usually when you do a trust fall, you know what I'm saying, you with coworkers that you at least know their name and birth date. You know what I'm saying? Or you're with people that you know that you were in a
Yeah.
camp.
Yeah.
But these are strangers, and
Hmm.
that can be scarier, right?
Yeah.
And
For
so
sure. For sure.
there is this level of trust in yourself and what you're hearing, um, and in what we are having a conversation around
Mhm.
that needs to what's the word I'm looking for, that needs to, there's a surrendering. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is
Yeah. Yeah.
sacred. This is
Yeah. It's so funny you said that because I kind of want to believe I'm a trusting individual,
Mhm.
knowing that I'm skeptical. I think somebody has an ulterior motive.
I
You
think
know?
we all do. It's a protective mechanism for us. Like our brains are wired to protect us. Our bodies remember past betrayal, past trauma, past. So this is natural. This is not me judging anyone because
Yeah.
they can't trust or surrender. Like we've lived long enough to know that we don't always get what we get excited about. And
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
protect ourselves in a way that's like, oh, well, this they gonna let me down. If they don't, it's a surprise, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's natural.
Yeah, and
Mm.
I've had my trusting thing had to do with gender stuff a lot,
Mm.
um, and so I couldn't trust if somebody wanted to be my friend for real, or they want to, I don't know, I'm like
Mhm. Yeah,
or no, I shouldn't even say, I never say no. I have this duality. I've had this duality thing where yeah, we got to get together, yeah, we are, right, yeah, and never show up,
yeah,
never
yeah.
show up.
Right. So then
Yeah.
you're left like, oh, now I'm let down. So I might as well just believe that people won't show up for me.
But I was the one not showing up because
Sometimes
I didn't believe most of the
you're
time. I
here,
didn't,
and that's harder. To
but
be
for Bird's
honest.
World, I'm showing up
Hmm.
because it's not like I don't feel like there's two levels of conversation happening.
Mm.
I don't know if you've ever been in a business and a person speaks a language that you don't speak, and
Hmm.
you're in there for a service.
Yeah.
So all you can do is speak English and then get a sense of the energy and read the body language. So
Yeah.
they say something to you and they turn to somebody else and say something else. And you feel like, are you talking about me? What are they talking about me? And that's the kind of feeling of trust, not lack
Yeah.
of trust, that I've had to try to figure out, like, wait, you know.
You're
And it's
talking about trust in self, right?
yeah,
Like, and that's harder because trust in other people, you can just be like, oh, you let me down, whatever. I don't have to see you anymore. But you have to look yourself in the mirror every day. And that's harder
it
and
is pretty hard.
requires a level of grace that we're all learning. Like I'm still learning to give myself grace when it is deserved. You know what I'm, it's always deserved. Grace is always deserved, right? So like even watching my language and what that looks like, but self grace and self surrendering and that self work, that's the healing part. That's hard. That's hard.
Yeah. So can I ask you? I did write a couple of questions down.
I know you did.
I wanted to see if you could just share two ways that your life has made society and your chosen community a better place.
Whoa. So, see, here you go. See, okay, just time out, y'all. Remember, I said Jano will ask you questions that make you contemplate your entire life, and you gotta like pause and think. Here they come. Okay, say it again.
Could you share just two ways that, I'm sure you have many more ways, that your life has made society and your chosen community a better place?
Wow. So there is a running joke, not joke, in the mornings, and in the evenings, because we run our writing space Monday through Friday in the morning, and then Monday and Wednesday in the evenings. And in the mornings, though, in particular, there there was conversation around how the space has allowed us to show up as fuller human beings throughout our day. We get
Mhm.
to show up more for our children. So there's rippling effect that is happening. So it's blowing my mind because we're now having conversations about how this isn't just impacting us. There is a generational effect that's happening because our kids, our nieces, our nephews, our anyone that we encounter is seeing our wholeness in a different way. And that means that we get to show up differently, which gives them the permission to also show up differently. It gives me the permission to listen better. It gives me the permission to sometimes go off when I need to go off. Like, that's okay. I don't always need to show up polished the way that we see it. But like, if I need to speak my truth instead of hiding in a corner somewhere, I'm going to speak this truth and you're going to receive it and then we're going to work through it or not. That's your decision, right? But I get to show up differently in that way. So there is this rippling effect, this generational effect that is happening, that I'm witnessing and noticing, that is really, really beautiful. So that's one. Two, I had a second one and I got lost in the first one. um, Joy. That's where my brain went. There is one of our newest members that has shown up in this space talked about, actually it was Lacrissa. It was Lacrissa Granberry who just published her book Shredding Rugs, that is out now through Birds World Publishing. Super excited about it. If y'all don't have a copy, make sure you get that copy. If you did not see the replay of the release party, you need to watch it. But in our conversation, we were talking about uh, the joy that existed in in our like meeting, right? So like me and Lacrissa's, I'm pretty sure it was her, but in our initial meeting, and then I invited her to morning pages, and the same level of joy that I had with her one on one, she now has from this community, which then made her want to show up more, right? It's amazing the healing and the magic and joy because it's a full body. If you're doing it correctly, it's a full body experience. And so your body remembers that joy and wants to return to that joy, which means you want to show up again and again and again to experience it so that again that rippling effect can happen, right? So one, joy can happen and it's possible for us as women of color living in these bodies, moving through this world, that joy is possible and that you can be seen by other people in a way that you've never been seen before. And then there is this space of again that rippling effect, that generational, the generational effect that's happening that I'm witnessing, that I get to see in the students and the participants and the young people that I worked with to all the way up to people who are in their 70s. Like there's a rippling effect. People are showing up differently.
um, you know, you could have gone on with a couple of more of those because there's so many different ways that I know as an outsider,
Mm,
as an observer, as a fly on the wall sometimes about the ways you've made it a better place
mm,
in your chosen community. And I'm happy that you chose me to be part of that community. It feels really good.
mm.
It gives me some personal bragging rights too. It does. Now I have another question, and I hope I'm not stepping too far out of bounds.
Look here, I'll let you know if I'm uncomfortable. I'm for the most part I'm an open book.
And I don't want to make you the spokesperson for this group of people, but
Mhm.
I go places. I went to see what's her name? Well, I told you I went to see her,
Shonda Rhimes.
Shonda Rhimes.
Mhm.
Now this is like was put together by public radio.
Yeah,
It was great event. Every woman of color in there was beautiful, shining, magnificent.
we are
It
gorgeous.
was just, it was just, it was crazy. It
Gorgeous.
was just too much for one place to hold.
Oof,
But
never.
everywhere I go, though, I see these beautiful women of color, and especially when I get down to the creative women of color,
Mhm.
it's like it's like the world can be all right now.
Mm,
However, I know that a lot of my sisters and friends are partnerless, and they want their lives to be different.
yeah,
And they're great artists, beautiful people, but there's one part that they want to fill that part too.
yeah.
Um, what are some of the parts that can make that happen?
That's
I should say
a
ingredients. Ingredients, I mean. What's some
ingredient.
ingredients? And I'm
That's
writing it
a
down. Writing it
that's
down.
a loaded, yeah, yeah. That's a loaded question, right? Because there are within that question, right? And this is what we do all the
Yeah.
time. Like within that question, there's the assumption that people want to be partnered.
Yeah. And
But
I
in
want
this
to.
example, you were
Yeah.
saying folks that do want to
They
be
do
partnered,
want to be partners. Yeah.
right? Um, oof. So I don't know how relevant this is, but this is what's coming to mind for me right now.
Okay.
We were talking about this earlier last week or earlier this week. Who knows? It's only Tuesday, but when we're together, time doesn't exist.
Yeah.
This group has spoiled me in the best way possible. And what I
Hmm.
mean by that is I have learned what real love feels like through
Hmm.
this group.
Hmm.
And so, because I have felt what real love feels like in this
Yeah.
group,
Yeah.
I now know what I need with a partner.
Hmm. Hmm.
Before, I was trying to figure it out and play it around and compromising in ways I shouldn't have compromised, and um, lost myself in other people in a way that wasn't healthy. And here I'm able to learn that I can be all of me and it's
Hmm.
not too much.
Hmm.
And I can be loved at my worst,
Hmm.
right? And so being able to experience that,
Hmm.
to know, first of all, what it is that you're looking for. Because you could have an idea of what you're looking for, but if you've never actually experienced it,
Yeah.
it's harder to look for, right?
Hmm.
Um, And so for me, I've been able to learn the way that I deserve to be loved, and I deserve nothing less.
Okay.
And if I try to get something less than that, when I
Yeah.
tell you my sisters are coming to not only remind me, but to kick whoever's ass need to be kicked, like it's just we're not allowing ourselves to not be in our light, right? So there's
Yeah.
this level of knowing
Hmm.
beyond ourselves
Hmm.
to understand what the verb love actually feels like,
Hmm.
right? And what I'm looking for. Um, so that's one ingredient, like having an example, like when you're baking a cake,
Hmm.
you don't actually have the thing that you're striving for in front of you. You
Hmm.
don't know where the coloring is off. And if you're okay with that color, it's not the color is off and it's bad. Maybe you wanted a white and off white looks just great. You wouldn't have
Yeah.
known until you
Yeah.
tried, but you're like
Yeah.
looking at this thing. Um, and so I've found what real love feels like in this group.
Hmm.
So that's one ingredient that I think is a multi-layered ingredient that exists.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then what else is coming to my mind? Like there's okay, so with the reality of that, right? Of understanding what it really feels like,
Hmm.
acknowledging and naming w- what's coming up for people, and understanding that two things that may be opposite or opposed to each other can exist. So
Hmm.
I can say that and
Hmm.
know that touch deprivation is real.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I don't hear a lot of people talking about that. I
Yeah.
don't hear people talking about not
Yeah.
getting enough hugs in a day because you
Right.
live by yourself.
Yeah.
And the desire to want a partner,
Hmm.
part of that comes from knowing that our bodies respond to touch,
Yeah.
right? And so allowing yourself to live in the duality of it and know that the yes ands can exist. I don't know if I'm working through that answer because that's a heavy question. So like those are the two things that come up for me. Know what it really feels like, and then also understand that dualities and opposing thoughts and ideas can exist at
Yeah.
the same time, and there's
Yeah.
no shame
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I'm gonna be thinking. See again, Jen will be asking questions whole week. That's gonna be my whole week question. Like
That's the question I
I'm gonna
can't
be
answer.
coming back to y'all. Like,
I
yes,
can't just ask
we can
anybody.
live in contradiction with no shame. Yes, Catherine. Like,
Yeah, I just can't ask anybody that question. But I know that so many women I know are
mhm.
so deserving of
Yes,
great partnership and yearning for it. And
yeah,
I want everybody I know to have that.
yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah.
yeah.
So I'm glad I could ask that question to you.
Thank you for
Thank you.
asking. We can
uh,
probably have time for like one more, probably.
okay, okay. Let me see which one. Uh,
Yeah, isn't Jano doing an amazing job, y'all? Like, I want to need
okay,
y'all to hop in this
okay.
chat and like hype Jano up because she on here getting it.
Besides not knowing that this platform would drain my battery, I swear I started with enough. I had enough
Oh
energy when I
no,
started, but I was like, oh my god, no, I didn't plug it in. Okay,
it's
that's my
okay.
tech stuff. Sorry, y'all.
It's all right.
Okay, so here's my last question. You are now a super senior. I'm saying you're 80 years old,
Okay.
with much more life behind you than in front of you. You are asked to share what it was like for your America in 2025. What do you say?
Even in the chaos, I was held.
Wow,
Again, two things can exist at the same time.
wow. Okay,
Oh, that's a good question.
that's a great answer.
Thank
It
you.
is. It is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a really amazing question. Again, every day, y'all. When Jeno is with us, we contemplate. We are in space and we are working through collectively. It's not individually. I thank you for your brain.
I thank you for accepting me for who I am.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Whew. I felt that through my body. Wow. So to close us out, Jano, I know that you, my goodness, have been blessing us with so many amazing questions and showing up in this space and saying yes to the call to be on Bird Talk. Um, I want to close out with a question for you.
Okay.
And the question I'm like choosing between one of three, but the one I want to go with is the main one. What are you returning? Or, oh, no, I'm sorry. What are you remembering right now in this moment, in this season of your life? What are you remembering right now?
And remembering who who I came to be. I
Mm.
came here to be a certain person, and I'm remembering it now, because I've had to practice and rehearse for so long for my safety,
Mm.
for fitting in, but now it's coming back to me. Oh yeah, I remember that person.
Oh,
I was here before I had a body,
yeah.
so I'm remembering that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch this for myself because I am learning. When you're in it, sometimes you don't get all of the things that are here. So if you all are watching this for the first time and you're watching the replay for the second time or the third time, let us know. Make sure you type in hashtag replay so I know that y'all are here. Wow. Every morning, y'all. So if at any point anything that we talked about today resonated with you, if at any point you felt as if you were ready to surrender and to trust and to try out a new space, a new way of moving, and a new way of just being, um, I want to invite you to our open house next Tuesday. Be in space with us. See what it is like. I'm telling every morning Jano is with us. we have conversations like this that are soul shifting. I'm literally going to go back to that second to that last question that you asked me. I'm gonna have to unpack that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, come join us in the open house, y'all. It's 6 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock Eastern. We are in space with one another. We are in community. We introduce each other, introduce ourselves to each other. We write, and we talk about how we can create the community that we deserve. So, um, if you are interested in that space, I'm going to drop the link in the chat for y'all to sign up. And I cannot wait to see you all. Jano, again, thank you so much
Thank you
for
so much.
joining us and for being here and for being is this is only part one. There is more to come because Jano got so much for y'all. You can't even handle all of it. I'm
Heather
telling you.
got so much for y'all.
I am doing my best, and with y'all by my side, literally
Yeah.
anything is possible. So I thank you all. Thank you so much, Joan and Catherine, for joining us in the chat, and our new person that I saw in here, whose name is like a username I saw. But I thank you for making that comment about being strong and being tired of people making the comments about you being strong. FPGIN AMD, whoever you are, I appreciate you for being in the space with us, and come join us for the open house. So I thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate y'all. And until next time, I want to encourage you to keep reading, keep writing, and as always, keep flying, y'all.